CashColorCannabis, a high level of conversation on LivehiphopDaily.tv, brought to you by the Georgia Hemp Company and Fronto Republic brands. And I got my other guests in the building tonight. Finally, I got Dr. Yolanda and Normal Henderson.
Yeah.
You might know the dynamic duo from the Holistic Show. You also know them from Atlanta Cannabis Academy. Mm-hmm. But I get a chance to get to deep dive into them about how all those things came about, how they even met. You know, you talk about a really loving couple over here. Like, I definitely want to know their backstory. You know, being a married man, I've been married now for a whole year. You know, I love talking to other married people.
Congratulations.
Right.
Congratulations. Welcome to the exclusive club.
Hey, let me tell you, you know what's funny? Like, so my anniversary is December 3rd. My birthday is December 4th. And I tell people that was a plan between my wife, my mother-in-law, and my mom. Like, to make sure you don't ever forget your wedding anniversary.
Ever. Well, guess what? Guess what? I got one on you. My birthday is September 13th.
Yeah.
My daughter's birthday is September the 14th.
Okay.
Mine and her wedding anniversary is September the 13th.
Oh, you can't forget nothing.
I can't forget nothing.
You can't forget nothing, bro. You want it early. Well, let's get into it, man. Let's get into it, because first I'd love to know who you are individually. So talk to us and introduce yourselves, Dr. Henderson and Normal. Introduce yourselves individually and let us know who you are.
All right. Well, I'm Dr. Yolanda Henderson. Mm-hmm. I am a naturopathic doctor. I'm the owner of the Atlanta Academy of Cannabis Science, and I love what I do.
Pardon me, I said it wrong. Atlanta Academy of Cannabis Sciences. I almost had a tongue twister.
I know, it's really a tongue twister because it's supposed to be Atlanta, Georgia. We kind of put the Georgia out because it's too long.
Yeah, then it would have been.
So it is the Atlanta, Georgia Academy, but you don't have to say it.
All right, and you, Normal?
My name is Norm Henderson. I am the co-owner.
Gotcha.
I am the co-owner of Atlanta Cannabis Science Academy, and I'm the director of accounting.
Okay, all right. So I guess the real question, the real elephant in the room is, how did you two find yourself into the cannabis space?
Oh man, I was already there.
I was going to say, I'm
I found myself with NWA, man.
I'm looking at Normal, like Normal been here before.
Yeah, I was there after that.
Yeah.
I'm a permanent resident.
That's what's up. All right, so you've experienced the plant before in your life. But what about you, Dr. Henderson?
Okay, so I decided to become a naturopathic doctor because of some personal health reasons. Mm-hmm. And with my personal health reasons, being that I have multiple sclerosis.
Oh, okay.
And I decided that I didn't want to take any of the medications anymore because of the way they were treating my body. And I felt like I was getting sicker. Yeah. And so I decided to go into the whole natural field. I was already a nurse, and now I can't even go there anymore. I can't even prescribe a medication like that anymore. I'd rather deal with strictly herbs and nutrients and vitamins. Mm-hmm. So that's how I got into it, just my own personal reasons. And then, using that, of course, in what Mr. Henderson's advice was, he was my first naturopathic doctor. Okay,
that was a bad influence, man.
Yeah, I can tell.
That was a bad influence.
Yeah.
I decided to do the herb, of course, and that's how we,
She said, "Do the herb. Do the herb."
We did the herb route.
Let me tell you, so I've been looking at Norm for a while, man. Norm is a bad influence, man. Decades you've been a bad influence in other people's lives, man.
Yeah, man. I'm a PK. That's what we do, man.
Oh, and yeah, that makes a lot of sense too. Preacher kids, buddy. But so y'all are tackling it from two perspectives. There's a recreational path and there's a medical path.
Yeah.
So when we're speaking, and again, I'm gonna get into the academy overall. But when you're speaking to students, like, those are two things that you're also speaking about, the recreational side and the medical side?
Well, we don't really like to use the term recreational.
Okay.
We like to call it responsible adult use.
Okay.
That's right.
A lot of the issues with marijuana can be fixed with just adult responsible use. Yeah. Take a common sense approach to it, but as far as the school, man, it's nice, man. It's nice, man. We give a lot of information. Okay.
How did the school come about in the first place?
Oh, it was all her idea. I just co-signed.
That's pretty much how it happened. No, actually, with my health concerns, I decided that I wanted to get certified. I wanted more information about the education of my own self for my own gain. And then our daughter was born, and she had epileptic seizures. And so we needed more, background of the industry. So we decided to get educated for her sake. And I mean, it was a tragedy to see a 3-day-old having a seizure. And so we went through a heartbreaking moment, and it took us getting the education and then deciding to move to Georgia in order to get her the treatments that she needed. And then with my own, personal experience, and then with Mr. Henderson co-signing everything, it was like, it made sense.
Where did you move to? Where did you move from that made you come to come to Georgia so you can get access, so you can access the proper medicine? Because it's hard to access it here. You know what I mean? So what made you? Where were you living prior to this?
Dallas, Texas.
D-Town.
D-Town, baby.
Oh,
Triple
so
D.
You was here last week when I spoke about my love of Dallas.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oak Cliff, that's my imaginary hood. Put it in their face, get that shit understood.
Yeah. That right there, what you just said. What you just said.
I love Norm. Norm, can we kick it one day off the show? Like, I'm already
every day.
Man, this
every
dude,
day.
man.
Every day.
Me and Norm gonna kick it. So y'all moved from Texas to Georgia in order to get better access.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Georgia actually kind of was a cool situation to be in, as far as being able to possess the cannabis card and have access to the oils that out there in Texas, the certain strains of oils that I have.
Well, we're now watching Texas go into a different route.
Yeah.
Might be going back to Texas.
I was about to say.
Might be going back to Texas with that too. That's on the list, man. That's on the bucket list. Go take over Texas.
Yo, I love this guy, man. Like
Chicago.
And Chicago.
Yeah. Shout out to Illinois. Almost there, technically. I don't want to say there just yet. You still gotta wait for one more signature. Yeah, but it's basically there. But going recreational, responsible. Responsible. Yeah. So let's talk about the academy. I know it's a 5-week course that students can enroll into. Yeah. If a student wanted to enroll, what would they be actually? What would they actually be getting out of the course? Like, I had a chance to go on the website, but can you speak about what they would actually be learning and what courses they be taking?
Well, what I teach the accounting portion, the tax and accounting portion. And when I speak on it from the aspect of owning a dispensary, or if you're going to be a grower, certain tax forms that have to be filled out, Regulation A documentation, 280E, which is a tax form that people have to use. When they file their taxes, is how they get the deductions. Okay. So I speak on it from that aspect. The money.
Makes sense.
And I speak on the health portion. So there's no prior experience necessary. You don't have to have a background in science. You don't have to have a background in business. You just got to have a background. You want to learn about cannabis. You can be a grower in the industry. You can be a truck driver in the industry. You can be a bud tender in the industry. Yeah. You can take our courses and certification and move to Colorado and be a bud tender. You can go and grow in Oklahoma. Okay. It doesn't matter. We're trying to educate to let everyone know that this industry we're at the forefront. Yeah. You're about to bust through doors that was never before available, and it's already available in certain states. But here in Georgia, we're still advocating for things that as a United States already supposed to exist. But we're behind in Georgia. Yeah. And they did have the oil, which was a positive thing. But we want the flower, Happy Hemp History Week. And we have fun. We're gonna go on cruises. We're gonna go to dispensaries. We're gonna go to other states. Yep. We're gonna grow hemp. We're going to do so much stuff at the school that and with this man right here, oh man, it's gonna be fun. Like every class period, it's gonna be an experience.
The idea is very much ahead of the curve, especially for where we're at right here. What has been the reception since you announced that this is the newest venture for you two?
Wow, fear.
Oh, bad. Yeah.
It's been a lot of people scared because they think that, oh, well, I don't have a degree, I've never been to school, you know, or it's still illegal, you know, and that's not what, you know, that's not what we're working for here. We're working to educate in order to show those people at the Gold Dome that, hey, I got a certificate. I know what I'm talking about. You can't pull this over my face. You can't hold this against me because I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, one thing I was impressed with, like you say, you just let's teach this now. You know what I mean? Because one thing that we do know is time stops for no man, and time is moving, and laws are being passed, and businesses are happening. Like case in point, when I told you me and Nicole was at Higher Standards this past week. And in Ponce Market, that's a huge actually look. You know what I'm saying? To know that you could walk, it's right next to the J. Crew store. Is a store that sells bongs. You know what I'm saying? Like literally in a neighborhood that doesn't look all like this room. Like all that is literally happening. So it's good for you to start teaching this to people in the city. How to grow, how to actually, you know, with accounting, the different laws, how to get certified for these things. Because when it does happen here, you want to have the people here in place. Almost like how we do with the Hollywood situation. You know, for the longest, we were bragging about, and we still brag. We brag about Black Hollywood, and we brag about the film industry coming here. But for the longest, they would come here and they would bring people from California. And because they weren't skilled enough people here to handle the work that they needed done. Now we are seeing those people get skilled, you know, but it was kind of behind. With this, it's like you're kind of preparing them early, and that's good.
Exactly.
Come and get it. Come and get it. I mean, it's gonna start. It's gonna start with the passage of the hemp bill.
Yes.
You know, I mean, some of the numbers that's out there for the cannabis estimation of what the industry is gonna be is multi in the billions. Yeah. You know,
we talking about Jay-Z numbers.
Why not us try to get that money?
You know,
it's out here for us.
Right.
Get you a couple of vans, you in transportation.
Yeah.
Of course, you might need a certain license to operate that vehicle.
Of course.
But still, you know.
But it's about getting the education, and I know. And my next question is about how this is going to help get more people of color actually interested in learning about the plant. You know, me and Norma was talking off screen about my own feelings about how we can get more people of color involved and how it doesn't involve passing laws. Like I don't believe that. I'm not saying I'm against anything political. Because when I hear people, you know, I don't want to say that, have people feel like I'm turned off by the political system. I'm not at all. I'm just very well aware that we've never, and you can't. We're in a democracy. You can't pass any law that's going to make people force somebody to be inclusive of you.
Right.
It's never going to happen. But what we can do is start changing how we look in media, and we can start doing that by taking ownership of certain things. And you taking ownership of this school is one of those type of things. You know what I'm saying? Having a couple like yourself. Leading these classes and leading this charge is a major thing when it comes to somebody else looking and saying, all right, well, that's another option. I could actually get involved in this.
Oh yeah. It's a viable option.
Yes.
And we're adding continuing education credits.
Oh, okay.
We've added AADP certification to where you're actually, when you're done, you're a cannabis consultant. You can go work for a doctor's office. You can go work for yourself and consult with people who are sick, with people who are trying to get, you know, a different strain or, like I said, in another state. So there's a lot of benefits to coming to the school besides just, you know, having fun with Mr. Henderson because he's gonna make everybody laugh the whole time.
When does the actual courses kick off?
So the actual courses kick off July the 13th.
Okay.
And it ends August the 10th. There will be a graduation ceremony, and we're undisclosed location, and we're gonna have some fun.
All right.
To be determined.
But you're gonna have to be there, man. You could be the commencement speaker.
Look, how about this? How about this? Can me and Nicole Scarlett actually take classes? Can we go and actually take the 5-course classes and get certified? Can we walk the stage with y'all and have cameras with us?
Exactly.
VIPDs too.
Please.
VIPDs.
Yes.
Nicole, we're gonna learn about. We're gonna take the
We
classes.
want you there. You're
You know what I'm
already.
saying? You're there.
You
You're
have a
already there.
seat.
You ain't doing nothing on that day.
And it comes
And
with
for the next
textbooks.
5 weeks.
Really?
after that.
It comes with textbooks.
Come with textbooks.
Look, I'm just ready to throw my cap in the air. I'm technically 3 credits short from a college degree, and I've been that way for about now 15 years, and my mom still kind of jokes about that. So this will be a degree. I know she's gonna be like a Guinness weed. But, you know, hey, I got you one, hey. No longer the black sheep of the family. Everybody else got one. Okay, now I got one.
We hang ours over perfectly on the wall in the house.
Hanging on the wall.
I mean, hey.
I hang mine right next to my Beta glass, proudly.
Wow.
Well, that's what's up. I actually would be interested in doing that. Like, I would love to see how this actually breaks down, because I think it's one of those things that's needed. You know, like we need to start catching stuff early rather than being late adapters, like you were speaking about.
Yeah. You know, that's another thing that we talk about when we go out and we meet people. You know, the importance of advocacy.
Yeah.
You know, I meet a lot of people who just fine with just smoking it.
Mm-hmm. We was talking about that. Yeah.
Not very many people who willing to get up and go get it.
Yeah.
Because it's out there to get.
Yeah.
The education, you know, you're talking about one of the largest transfer of wealth would be the cannabis industry, right next to the internet, of course.
But we'd have to be on top of that. And again, it
We'd
starts
have to
with
be
you
on top of that.
being on trend and not behind trend.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't be behind.
Yeah.
Don't be behind, man. Don't get left.
No, and, you know, and we spoke about how much, again, I put a huge premium on what we gonna do with the media. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we need to start seeing more of us on screen discussing this. And that's another thing that y'all do with the Holistic Show. Yeah. So speak to us about that, about putting brothers and sisters on screen, openly speaking about the health benefits of cannabis.
All right. So the Holistic Cannabis Show is a show that is dedicated to the community, the cannabis community. I teach health and wellness, or I get, you know, students who enroll in the class, VIP, to come on the show. Now, the students so far that's been in our classes have been farmers, they've been CBD oil shop owners, they've been, you know, business owners that actually want to feature their businesses on our show. So we promote that. We promote Black businesses. We promote all businesses. And when you get together and come to the class, there's a certain co-opship, you know, and that allows a lot of different, you know, industries to come together to form the cannabis community. Mr. Henderson teaches about entertainment, because there's a lot of entertainers that are in the closet about what they do, and a lot of them, they have to be in the closet because it could come and jeopardize their financial, you know, wealth and different things like that.
I know a few athletes, man. I ain't gonna say y'all names.
Athletes?
I kicked it with a few ball players, man.
They gotta stay on the low.
And they gotta stay on the low, but
Chief heavy.
there's gonna be an opportunity to advocate for the athletes, for the whole industry as a whole, because medicinally this is needed. I really don't believe in recreation. I believe that all of it is actually medical. Because we have been oppressed for years. We have anxiety issues. We have PTSD from home, from our forefathers and our friends and family that has gone and left the family and gone to jail and have suffered.
Don't get me on Chicago, like with them kids in Chicago right now. You can't tell me that these boys in Chicago aren't going through PTSD and that this weed they smoking and the way they smoking it is because of that.
The ground that happened before them. And generationally, if we can come together and we can heal and allow this plant to heal us like it's gonna do the land. The hemp is already a power plant that's healing our land, is gonna heal our atmosphere. Why haven't we gone ahead and started growing this in the United States? What has been a problem when this could help the soil, enrich the earth, enrich your breathing, enrich a whole lot of things for the planet? And I guess
that's just hemp.
Right.
That's not
just
even
hemp.
getting into cannabis.
Right.
That's just hemp, man. Plastics, clothes.
Yes,
it's a whole industry out there just waiting on us. You know, hemp oils. Man, there's a lot of good stuff that could come with hemp, man.
Well, let me tell you something. I'm very proud that you two are starting out the classes and starting out the school that you're starting, because there's a good chance that you're actually going to educate the person who does that.
Oh yeah.
You know, and think on that level that the person who actually might do what you just said could be coming through those classes right now.
Right.
So major deal. I appreciate y'all coming through. Let people know where they can find out more information about the school and everything else y'all got going on.
All right, so we can be reached at our phone. Phone number is 404-631-6360. Instagram, Atlanta Academy of Cannabis. Science. There's a Twitter page, Atlanta Academy of Cannabis Science. There's also Facebook. We haven't got deleted off yet, but Atlanta Academy of Cannabis.
Welcome to my world, baby.
They deleted us from a lot of stuff.
I actually accused Facebook of discrimination at one point. Like when I say that email and then you say they don't give no answers, I was like, yo, so we just discriminate at this point because we just mad at the name? Came right back with the same form letter as we said in the first one.
we had PayPal issues.
Man, we got PayPal issues, man. We got just because the name Cannabis.
Oh yeah, y'all need
in the school.
Y'all need to meet my man Joe Salone with Georgia Hemp Company. He'll tell you about his 9 accounts that got shut down. His 9 PayPal accounts that got shut down.
Yeah, man, that's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Well, I definitely appreciate you two for coming through. Definitely kick it with us. We're about to turn some music on and hang out for a second and kind of network for a second. But I do appreciate y'all again. I think what you're doing is amazing, and I'm glad I had a chance to speak with you about it and kind of help y'all introduce your conversation to another group.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
No problem.
We love the show. We follow the show. So, hey, we're going to get you on our show here.
Factuals. And I hate being on TV, but I'll do it.
Yeah, that's what's up.
As I'm on TV. Thank you very much again, and that's Cash Color Cannabis, a high level of conversation.
All right.